All right, what's up everyone? It's Dave Stone with another exciting episode of Develop Awesome Skills, where I am committed to providing inspirational and practical ways to transform your life and the world around you by planting fruit and medicinal trees. And today, we're once again talking about irrigation, and we're gonna get a little bit deeper into the process, so here we go. So in the last video, I showed you how many plants and trees I have on each zone in my property and how it's still getting pressure. I think that I demystified this whole idea that you need like 8 zones in your front yard and 8 zones in your backyard. Now, maybe there's definite purposes for all that, but the easy way is more appealing to me because I have less things that can break. I have, as long as everything gets enough water, I have less things that I gotta fix in the future. So, and I know how everything went in because I did it myself. So all that stuff kind of like, it's a little bit of work, but I think it's a good thing for you to try. So in the last episode, we discussed what materials you're gonna need to buy in order to install your own irrigation system in the front and the backyard. And the best thing to do is just draw a map of your yard or do a Google map and then just draw with Sharpie, boom, 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 wherever you want your pipes to go, and then you can add up. Corner, 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 T, threaded T, boom, 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 make a list, go to Home Depot, buy it all, boom, you got your stuff. Probably cost you 150 bucks, maybe 200 bucks, depending on, how many sprinkler heads you want in there. If it's a small system, it's not gonna cost you much, maybe only like 30 or 40 bucks. So basically, I have only 4 zones available to me right now on an automatic timing system. And that's why I'm like, why not? Let's try it. Let's add more bubbler heads than you're supposed to add to each zone, and let me be your guinea pig and see even how long it lasts. But I think it's gonna last a long time, especially just putting it right under the wood chips. If you're gonna cover your yard with wood chips, it's a perfect way to do it. In this episode, we're gonna lock in the rough draft and we're gonna glue it all together, and we're gonna talk about some other considerations that you need to take into account when you put your own automatic watering system in your yard. Once you have those supplies, you need to grab all of your PVC pipes that you just bought and you need to lay them out. Now, before you buy your stuff, I would recommend getting a map of your property, draw it out on a piece of paper, add up all the different elements that you need, and then you go to the store and buy them all. And I would always usually buy like 5 more of everything than you need, because you're always going to run into some things where you want to upgrade your system or make it go some other places as you're building it. So the first step after you get all your stuff and you design it is laying the pipes out on the ground on top of where they're going to go, just laying them all out, roughing them in, kind of like a rough draft, rough sketch. And then once you lay it all in, then you can see how everything's gonna look. I'm gonna take you around the property right now and kind of show you what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. I could be doing things a little bit differently. I'm gonna show you the easy way to do it. There's a handful of other ways to do it, but I'm gonna show you the easy way and some factors that you need to keep in mind before you put your automatic irrigation system in. So here we go. So some of the factors that you're gonna wanna keep in mind before you start building your irrigation system is how many trees are you gonna have, or what kind of plants are you gonna have on your system. If you're gonna have trees, you're gonna wanna really think about deep watering. If you're gonna have bushes and shrubs and flowers, there's different kinds of watering for those kind of things. I personally like using PVC with bubblers and some other spray heads for different purposes over drip line. Now I'm using drip line in the raised moringa bed and also in the greenhouse back there, or the hoop house back there, to keep the vegetables and things like that watered. Drip lines are not optimal for fruit trees. What you really want to think about is deep watering. You want to make sure that when you plant your tree, you build a nice well, and then you fill that well with wood chips. Well, you want to think about just filling that well all the way up and making sure the soil is well draining. I mean, that is a key. So when you plant, use a lot of sand. If you have very clay soil, use a lot of good stuff that drains well, because you want the stuff to drain out of that hole all the way. You just want to soak it, have it drain. But as it drains, it goes down, deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground, which forces the roots to push down. If you just have a little dripper system or grass sprayers, it just hits the top and then it evaporates all off. So with a lot of wood chips, watering heavy, the water trickles down immediately and doesn't evaporate, and then it goes down deep. It just keeps going down into the ground, which forces the roots to go deeper, establish the tree stronger, and actually make the leaves and the fruit more healthier, because the deeper the roots can go in the ground, the more minerals that they can get that haven't been touched yet. And what the trees do is they grab those minerals and they bring them up through the roots, into the tree, out to the leaves, and when those leaves drop, those leaves now have all of those minerals from deep down in the earth, and now you're laying those minerals on top of your ground. That's why it's such a ludicrous idea to rake up your leaves and throw them away. The tree leaves are the best thing to compost with, because the trees have grabbed these minerals from deep within the earth, and now they're putting them back on top of the soil to feed all of the life in the soil. So that's kind of the idea, but you really want to deep water so those roots go deeper, so those roots grab more minerals and nutrients out of the deep parts of the earth, bring them back up to put them on top, so everything can be fed with the amazing cycle of the earth. So deep water is very important for trees, for fruit trees, and deep watering is done with bubblers, because bubblers don't just spray into the air. Now, I've seen a way Jay Behringer does it, and Jay Behringer has his spray heads pointed at an angle. And so when they spray the ground. Make sure your sprayers do not hit your trunks. They're just hitting the ground around your tree, probably where you want the roots to expand, kind of like not right at the tree, around the edges of the tree. And I'm going to show you that process as we get further into this irrigation section. So I'm going to take you around the yard right now, and I'm going to show you how I lined everything up and some other factors that you have to consider. This whole section, one of the big factors that you really need to think about is how many trees you're going to have on one line, one zone. And in this zone, as you can see, I'm building it. It's going to have these 4 trees here, but it's going to be connected there and there and in the corner. So it's going to connect a lot of trees, and then it's going to go all the way back down the side there to hit my banana tree. So this is going to really get a lot. It's going to come under the pathway here, and it's going to hit this little olive. So it's going to be really a nice little setup. Now, there are going to be a lot of trees on this system, and one of the things that you really want to keep in mind is if you use bubblers for deep watering, you should find some pressurized bubblers, because the pressurized bubblers will allow more pressure to stay in the system. So if you just go to Home Depot and get those cheap green bubblers, which I got the whole first round, and you put those bubblers in on 25 trees for one zone, you're not going to get any water coming out of that last one, because all the pressure is going to be taken up. And so that last one that you want to water on the last zone, on the last sprinkler head of the zone, you want that tree to get water too, but that one's not getting any water if you have unpressurized bubblers. So some of the spray heads have pressure. So what I did on my front zone, where I have like 25 trees on that, when it was losing pressure, I started switching out some of the bubblers for some spray heads. And the more spray heads that you put on the system and the zone, the more pressure will stay in the system. So basically, I'll take the spray heads and I'll angle them down, just like I saw at Jay Behringer's house. I'll angle them like at 45 degrees. Now, they're going to be all covered with wood chips. You might want to put a tomato cage around them, make sure people don't step on them. But spray it right down into the chips, just a full spray. That's also going to act like a bubbler. It is going to soak the area. And if you have a lot of trees on one area, you're going to need to up the time in that zone. So instead of only watering for 5 minutes, you might need to water for 20 minutes for all of those trees to get the same amount of water. So just some considerations to keep in place. But here we go, because my dad is actually gluing some pipes together, because this is step 2, is gluing all the pipes together after your rough draft. All right, so right now my dad is just taking the rough draft and he's finding places to cut it and using the cutting tool. This is the best cutting tool I've found for PVC pipe. Slices right
really
through.
Sweet.
Works really well. See, we got a big sack of connectors right here. There's some T's in there, there's some 90s in there. All right, so we're starting up at the front here. I have one zone that's only connected to that little bed up front, just the raised bed in front of my door. So I'm gonna come in off that line. I'm gonna find it. It's down there under the dirt. I'm gonna do this last, because I actually have to dig in the dirt. But I'm gonna trench this area. I'm gonna put this pipe this way, and then that's gonna connect directly to this backyard here. These bananas need it. These guys definitely need some consistent water because they'll take as much as I want to give them, but you know, they're growing in so fast. So fast. They just need a lot of water right now. So they got to get consistent water every single day. And then I got some nice little watermelons coming in here, but hey, they took a little hit. So I really need to get this area some consistent water because it's not getting it right now. And I've been busy and I need to make sure that these things get water every day because I love my plants. So what my dad started doing is this line comes right in here. You know, wherever the pole ends, we just connect it. Right now, we're not worrying about putting bubblers in, we're just connecting. It's a first rough pass. So after we laid them out, there's another connector right there. And then we got another one right there. Now we have all of the irrigation roughed in. It's all glued together. Right now, it's just capped on the ends. Comes all the way down from the side, and then we come right in here and go all the way that way. So really the rough in is the first step. Got some tees and then just some sleeves along this long run, and then 90s over here on the edges. So yeah, it's all roughed in, and now I'm going to connect it all prior to burying it. Comes this way so I can get the bananas consistent water, and it comes all the way here to the front. And now I got to finish connecting this section here right up to this zone where I dug it up. Oh, hi baby, did you find a good mattress? Hi girl, how's it going? You look so relaxed. You found a nice little pocket down there. So the kitties really enjoy it under all the shade. But this is the pipe here that attaches to the raised bed. It comes up right here for those bubblers. Comes down. And it goes this way, and then it keeps going that way for the second part of the bed over there. So I'm gonna tap in right onto this line. I'm gonna be cutting it right here. I made a little trench. I'm gonna be attaching that right there. And that's just gonna run all the way down, and then it's gonna be all connected. So once it's all connected, I'm gonna start getting all of my bubblers and sprinklers where they need to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video, we're gonna show you how to install the risers properly, how to put those together and install them in your system after everything is already glued together and hooked up, ready to go. And I just wanna say thank you so much for watching this video, and all the subscribers who have already subscribed to me, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Also, I need to give a big shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you so much. It really means the world to me that you're getting behind me financially and helping me keep things going here at Stonehaven and start all my new ventures. So if anybody does want to get behind me, you can go to patreon.com/developawesomeskills, and you can help me plant more trees, build a food forest, and do some other really, really cool stuff. Plus, there's some other cool content on Patreon if you go check it out that isn't on YouTube, and you get your name at the end of these credits. So that's kind of cool too. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, develop awesome skills. I love you all.